This is the second in a series of 4 videos designed to give you a greater understanding of why do a detox, how to do it and what to expect. This particular video focuses on the signs and symptoms our body gives to us and what happens when we actually do a detox. So Brett, I'm personally quite fascinated with this first topic. Toxic overload, it's a common used phrase, but what exactly is it?
Well, toxic overload is when the body becomes overloaded with a particular substance and it becomes toxic. So you might be familiar with poisoning. Poisoning is when something's become quickly toxic in the body. In other words, it interferes with the normal functions of the body. But what happens with our society today is we're actually poisoning ourselves slowly with our food, because we're putting chemicals into our food in our factories and the way we process the food with preservatives and chemicals. So toxic overload occurs over a period of time by consuming these processed foods. So our body becomes actually poisoned by those substances over time. And people might say, well, you know, the body should detox those chemicals, and yes, in a way it is meant to do that, but over time those chemicals, those artificial chemicals, become harder and harder for the body to digest and to eliminate and to get out of the system. So we start getting overloaded with those poisons and those toxins, and we start getting symptoms of toxic overload. So
the first sort of symptoms that we would feel, what would they be if our body was suffering from toxic overload?
Yeah, well, usually when something's toxic in your body, it starts to cause an irritation. And of course, things like sugar, you might think, well, how could sugar be a toxin and a poison? Well, over time, what sugar does is it causes the body to become acidic. And same with processed carbohydrates, you start to get more and more acid in the body. And the processed foods are hard to digest, so acid builds up. And as a result of that acid, we start getting inflammation. And so if you think of the things that are caused by inflammation, aches and pains, itchy skin, hay fever, sinus, allergies, things that the body is irritated by, and inflame the acid that's caused that irritation by inflaming the whole body. There's a domino effect that happens when you start getting inflammation in your body from acid. You start getting gut problems, so digestive problems, bloating, gas, wind, constipation. Acid reflux is a big one we really suffer a lot from because we're struggling to digest the food. Also, you get sinus and hay fever, allergies, coughs and colds, skin problems. They're all related to this acid inflammation pattern, and it's really just a toxic overload from our diet.
So once you start to go through a detox, what actually happens to your body then?
When we do a detox, what we want to do is take away all the processed food from our diet and go on to a whole unprocessed natural food. So we're looking at fruits and vegetables, things that are made by nature, not by man, so there's no chemicals in them. And when we go onto a pure whole food diet, we take our herbs along with that, the body starts to detoxify, the acid starts to go down. And one of the things that we get with our society today is a huge epidemic is what we call metabolic disease, and that's a combination of high cholesterol, high blood pressure and weight gain, and diabetic problems, and also heart disease as a result of all of that. So it's a combination of those things, and they actually result in our 3 biggest killers, which is heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and also today chronic obstructive lung problems. They're all a result of this chronic inflammation and toxicity. So when we do the detox, we're reducing the chemicals in the body, reducing the acid in the body and the inflammation, and all of those things can go down. And so what we can experience is a fantastic sense of clarity and well-being, you know, feeling really calm and peaceful, really clear and light and energized. So those are the results from doing a detox.
Well, thank you, Brett, for that. We'll look forward to part 3, which is how we physically do the detox.
Yeah, no, thanks, you're welcome. I look forward to talking to you soon.